up guys, welcome back to another YouTube, and we are back in Binous today. We are going to be hitting legs. So obviously recently you will have seen a leg session with the muscle doc, which was more about sort of prehabilitation and stability work that he was doing with me. So I'm going to be incorporating some of the stuff I learned with him in today's session. But this will be my typical leg session that I will do. It's been a while since you'd have seen any of this from me, because obviously the quad tear injury. So I'm still kind of getting back into leg training. I've trained them properly now maybe 3 times. So we're getting back to sort of decent loading on weights. So we're going to take you through the session. Should be a good one. I'm training on my own today because this week has been hectic for me. I've been filming, doing photo shoots and stuff for like sponsorship obligations, things like that. So my routine's been thrown off quite a bit. Still yet to have a rest day this week. So those of you that know me know I'm like so routine based. So it's thrown me off quite a bit. I'm pretty tired, but nonetheless, gonna get a pre-workout in. I'm not usually much of a stim person, but I have prepare, pump and stim in here for today's session. So we're definitely gonna try and make it a good one for you. And I'll try and talk through a few things as we go through the session and add some value, and hopefully you guys can take away something from this session. But let's get into it. So just starting off with a standing calf raise. Basically I start with these because if I don't start with them, I'm not going to do them at the end of the session, and I have shit calves, like plenty of people. So you'll notice with this calf raise, I'm not kind of just going straight up and down like your typical. And this isn't from my own knowledge, this is literally taken from Jordan. Going through like the functionality of a calf. Our calf was made to help with walking, so plantar flexion, so the actual natural movement should be up and then knees slightly forward. And the way he put it to me was like, do a Michael Jackson. So that's what we're doing here. So we'll just do like 3-4 sets of like 10 to 12 and we'll move on.
I'd like to actually be able to enjoy the food. So good, like
Alright, so that's calf raise done. Next up, we're just going to go into some body weight walking lunges. Again, this is more of like an activation drill. It's for, like focusing on, engaging my sort of core, my obliques, and just getting myself nice and warmed up before we move into main movements. So this really isn't like a working exercise. It's just sort of a pre-activation drill I do. So what you'll notice with this is there's a very deliberate technique to this. We're taking it nice and slow, nice big stride, making sure we're planting through the middle of the foot. What we're doing is opposite arm to opposite leg. I'm driving forward so my left leg's forward, I'm driving forward with my right, but simultaneously then I'm pulling back hard like I'm doing a single arm row into my lat here. So what we're doing is we're getting this all fired up, ready to be able to stabilize and support when we go into the bigger movements of pressing. So you'll probably notice that I'm dragging my back leg through as well when I'm coming through on these. It's not because I'm a gimp or anything, it's actually to activate the quad. So from this position back here, I'm pulling through to activate the quad as well. So we're getting some quad activation then before we go on to the next exercises. You'll see this is actually quite taxing. I'm sweating quite a bit and I'm tired from these. They are quite demanding. when they're done right, because you're literally bracing and activating every part of your body for these. All right, so adductor now. What I do here is, obviously you've just done a few warm-up sets. I'm just going to do one top set here with a rest pause. So we'll just go to failure, rest 15 seconds, and then take it to failure again. Okay, back off set next. Obviously a heavy top set now. We're looking at dropping the weight by about 15%, so not a huge drop in weight, but we're gonna go for sort of a 12 to 15 rep range. You'll notice with the top set, I was doing really slow negatives, really controlled. With the back off now, I look for more of a, still controlled, but more of a continuous motion. So not as slow in the negatives. So leg extension now. This is probably the one movement that I don't kind of follow the same format of a top set and a back off. I tend to just work up in sets of 15 here. Reason being is I'm still not going to like, these machines, like I can stack it like for reps. So I'm not really looking at a top set here. So I'm trying to build up a cumulative fatigue here across the sets of 15. Also obviously with my quad tear was my vastus lateralis, so I'm still kind of easing back into it, and I want to put a lot of blood in here now into my quads before I go on to, obviously I have my pendulum next, which is my hardest movement, is the movement where I hurt myself. I'm very cautious going into it. So this one is also about sort of a cumulative volume, getting a lot of blood into the quads, and then moving on. So we'll probably do 3 or 4 sets here, 15, depending on, you know, I'll do if the third set's easy, I'll do a fourth set a little bit heavier. Yeah, anywhere between like 6 and 10. But I'll probably like hit like I'll get to a point where there'll be a rep where you'll just need to give a little bit with it.
Let's go, drive. 2, good. Keep going. Easy, come on, let's go. And again, come on, let's go, keep going, bro. 5, keep going, keep moving. 6, keep going, come on, let's go. Let's go now, dig deep, come on, drive. 7, come on, let's go. Drive.
Oh, fuck. Cheers, man. Thank you. That's why my reps are so slow. It's my 3rd week using it. 4th? 3rd week with weight. I did 2 weeks where I did it with no weight. That's fine. gonna suck. Come on. Come on. Don't crush me. these sort of exercises are definitely the hardest for bodybuilders because they involve like balance and stability, which we definitely don't have. That's a wrap. That's leg day done. Just gonna get my breath back and then I'll do a bit of an outro. All right, so that's legs wrapped up. I've got my breath back now to kind of talk you through what we did. So obviously you've seen we kind of started with a lot of the accessory work, warm-up work, you know, having, those of you who know me know I've had quite a lot of injuries in the past, my knee, things like that, most recently my quad tear, so I do take quite a long time now with my sort of warm-up work and, you know, my accessory work before I go into my pressing. You know, and today we were back in the pendulum movement that I did tear my quad on. So pretty decent working set there again today. I'm just getting a little bit every week. You know, so we're working back to where I was there. Some good sets on the leg press, single leg press. All in all, that's a very good session. I was saying off the camera a few minutes ago that last week was kind of the first session, like afterwards, like the next day, I felt like I had really trained legs again since before the injury, and today it just clicked again, like even more so. So I really feel like I'm getting back to being myself now again with that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you took some value from that. From the way I train and how I execute my movements and the sort of reasonings behind the movements and what I do. So yeah, please like, subscribe, comment anything you'd like to see in the future. There'll be more videos. As I said previously, I am going to be trying to get a video out every week with something around training or what I'm doing with my day-to-day life. So yeah, that's it for now, and props to my man Magic Eye behind the camera today, all the way over from the UK. I'm sure this is going to be an awesome video with him. So we'll speak to you soon.